How's it going, y'all? Titan Smash MTG, and today we're back with some more MTG standard discussion. Today, we're going to talk about a little bit of Strixhaven and a little bit of Throne of Eldraine. Now, you may be wondering why Throne of Eldraine, because it's actually still a really big part of the meta right now, and it's something we need to talk about as far as the viability of other things in standard because of Throne of Eldraine. Before we get started, a quick reminder, still doing the giveaway, link in the description below, sub on YouTube, follow me on Instagram, you enter to win. Bam, easy peasy. We're giving away 2 different bundles of Strixhaven, so if you want to enter, link is in the description below. Also, Wednesday is the early access event, I think. So we'll be streaming live when that's available. I think at 11 a.m. is when it usually is. Hopefully that's still the plan. We're still kind of waiting to hear the details of it, but we'll be playing all these kind of different Strixhaven decks early on. Some early standard against a bunch of different pros and streamers and content creators and all that kind of stuff. So catch me on probably on Twitch Wednesday at 11 a.m. We'll be playing some new standard with Strixhaven cards one day before the release on Arena. But enough yapping, let's talk about this video, let's go. So basically what I want to talk about in this video is, say we're looking at Strixhaven, the day of release in Strixhaven, you can do anything you want with Throne of Eldraine. What would you do? There's been a lot of different conversations, a lot of different topics of discussion come up where people have talked about either banning all of Eldraine, maybe just banning all adventure cards, or just doing nothing as is. You know, we have rotation coming up in the fall anyways. But I think it's worth talking about. You know, everybody obviously, some people hate bans, they just think they should never exist. Other people call for bans way too often about all kinds of different things. Looking at you, everybody cries about ruin grab. But I do think the adventure discussions, one, and Throne of Eldraine in general, is something worth talking about. We have this new set coming out, Strixhaven, School of Mages. It looks really, really neat as far as card design, but I think the overall consensus is pretty clear right now that it's a very weak set compared to other ones. And we still have things like Throne of Eldraine in the format. It's been kind of dominating the meta for a while now. No matter what you build, like the adventure package is probably your best engine, your best card draw outlet, and you still get to have this good aggressive game plan. All of your spells are pretty much 2-for-1s anyways. There's a lot of things that Eldraine did, and that's not even counting the stuff that's already banned in this set. Eldraine, just power level wise, was such a step above everything else in the meta. And even now, we're months into this kind of thing. We're getting all these new cards, and it just seems like hardly anything can really make a dent anymore because of Throne of Eldraine. So with that being said, should we ban anything? And I think there's good discussion for both sides of this. Let's talk about if we were going to ban all of Eldraine first off. If we were going to ban all of Eldraine, that would get rid of Edgewall Innkeeper, that would get rid of all of our adventure cards, and also get rid of a lot of other good playable cards. You have Fervent Champion, Robber the Rich, Gilded Goose, things of that nature. There's a lot of good stuff from Throne of Eldraine. So if we were to ban it, it wouldn't get rid of all those kind of things. This will shake the meta up in a big way because I don't know of any decks out there that don't use adventure cards at some point. But also just, again, Wicked Wolves and cool cards like that don't fall into the adventure package. Still very strong cards from Throne of Eldraine. Personally, I don't think banning all of Eldraine is the way to go, though. It does see a large share of play in the meta right now, and for good reason. The cards are great, the cards are strong, and if you got the tools at your disposal, you might as well play with them. But I don't think banning them is the way to go. So another suggestion that's not quite as powerful but still as strong is just to ban all the adventure cards. And this is one, honestly, I could get behind. The adventure cards have just been so dominating. Like, take for instance Gruul. Gruul Adventures has been a thing for a while now. If you're going to be playing Gruul, the adventure package is the way to go. You can try other shells of it, whether it's Gruul Monsters or Gruul Mutate, but you're just playing a worse version of Gruul, and that's just cut and dry, all there is to it. As someone who loves Gruul myself, I've just never been, I don't have a lot of fun with the adventure style of it. The games are repetitive. Everything kind of ends up being the same sort of thing, and there's just not a lot of variation you can really do with it. Any deck out there, it's like there's all these kind of different sets of design space and ways we can do things, but it doesn't matter in the end because if you're not playing adventures, you're kind of just doing yourself a disservice. So I think being able to get rid of the adventure cards would be really cool because, for one, while you're definitely banning a lot of cards, you're not banning a whole set or anything. That way you still get to keep a lot of different cards in the meta, keep a lot of neat cards and everything that's actually available to play, but you're still getting rid of this thing that's problematic and been a huge part of the meta for a long time now. So if I had it my way, I think banning all the adventure cards would be an interesting way to go, and I think if you're going to do so, the time is now to do it. We're still in the midst of a global pandemic right now. We're not having sanctioned F&M events. We're not having sanctioned paper events, whether it be SGG tours or Grand Prix or that kind of thing. So Paper Magic, it's not really going to get hit by this like you would think it was. It'd be one thing if Paper Magic is still going like normal because it hurts a lot to ban things then because people pay good money for these cards. And it really sucks, you buy your new deck, you buy all these cards, and then it gets banned and ripped from under you. at least with Arena, if they ban these things, you get your wild card refunded for it. And obviously there's some field bads, all that kind of stuff as well. But there is a way of compensating there on Arena. And again, we have rotation coming in the fall anyway, and some may say just wait until then. But you're really just doing a disservice to the standard coming out here if you can't even play with a lot of the new cards because they're just so overshadowed. So I think if you're ever going to have the time to pull the trigger on this kind of move, I think the time is now for it. And you can say this sets a dangerous precedent, and you're right. You don't want to get into a habit of just, hey, we're banning all these types of cards in a set, or hey, we're doing all this kind of stuff in the deck. But honestly, the time couldn't really be better for it right now. I don't think. Like you said, it's not going to be here long anyways. So for people who are against this, it's not like you're missing it for that much longer anyways. But also, we've got a lot of play out of these. We've seen just for a long time now. We have so much data to prove just how dominant these cards are, how much play they've seen, and just how much they kind of just control the meta. And there's a lot of cool design space and all these other sets that are just getting ignored because Adventure is just the way to go. So I would be all for it. I would actually love if this were to happen. Do I think it'll happen? No, I don't. I've not really heard any real chatter about it. But Wizards have surprised us before with these kind of big bannings. And you got to think the last time we had a big banning like this is whenever we had the Fires of Invention ban and Teferi and all this kind of stuff. They just kind of went scorched earth one day. I've never seen MTG Twitter happier or more in solidarity than that day. Even the people who are usually like me, I'm usually not a big proponent of the bans for the most part. But that was a fantastic day, and it really did help the meta a lot from what it was. I think this would be a really similar situation where we could get rid of a lot of these excess cards that are just kind of dominating and overpopulated in the meta, and then have all these new cards have a chance to finally shine. But yeah, I want to go back to that time, unless we have the MTG booty hashtag going on, not a lot of solidarity in the Twitterverse with Magic sometimes. So this would be a nice way to have it. Again, you can also leave things as they are. We have November, October, I guess, is when the rotation happens. But if you know that people are unhappy with this right now, we have a long way to go. This pandemic isn't going to just magically end as much as we want it to. I think why not take advantage of this time to go ahead and just do this, be proactive, and just, that way we have a brand very new, very fresh meta. And then after that, we still have rotation coming again, and an even more brand new, fresh meta. Like, if we're going to be on this whole online plan anyway and all playing all these kind of things we're not in person, why not just test this kind of design space and see how it works? It's the best time to do so. We could really take advantage of the situation presented to us here and overall have an interesting meta. Now, I'm going to post a little screenshot of the poll I posted on this right now just to show you how divided and how close this is right now. Actually tied on everything between banning all of Eldraine and no changes, so it's kind of funny there. But let me know in the comments, what do you think? Do you think there should be any bans at all? Maybe ban all of Eldraine, maybe just ban the adventure cards, maybe no changes at all, or something else? If so, just let me know. But that's what we got. Again, just a little bit of discussion. Wanted to talk about this. Curious to see where y'all fall on this. Probably on Tuesday, the day before Early Access, we'll be doing our top 10 cards of Strixhaven School of Mages. So we'll look forward to that. And then afterwards, get ready because it's going to be a bunch of standard decks coming at you. Brand new standard, brand new historic. It's going to be a fun time with the channel. I'm looking forward to it. Thanks for watching, y'all. Thanks for the support. Sorry, this may be a little bit rambly, but I just wanted to talk to you. That's all.